It's awful. Ugh, how did I start building my design portfolio? It's so embarrassing. My biggest project to date. You have to look at everything as an opportunity. Hello, how are you? I'm fantastic, thank you for asking. Today I want to do a little Q&A with you. I got sent some really fantastic questions by Mullan Lighting to answer. So I sent them an email with answers, but I thought I would film a questionnaire for you just in case if there's any up-and-coming designers out there or up-and-coming creatives that want to peek behind the lens a bit and maybe hear some advice or learn from my mistakes. This would be the perfect opportunity to do so. So without further ado, let's just jump into this. James, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Well, my name is James McNamara. I am a founder and creative director of JMC Studios Limited, which is an interior design company based in Ireland. And we've actually recently expanded into apparel, so I guess you could say that we're an interior design company and fashion company. Please. How did you become interested in interiors? It's a very tough question because I think when I first became interested in interiors was when we moved into this house and Mum was looking at tiles and stuff for bathrooms, and I was like, this is fascinating. And it was the first time me and my brother were able to pick out our own colours for our room and our bed and bedding. I'm not even going to say what colour I picked because it's awful. Red and cream. I know, it's rank, but that's the colour I picked. So I suppose from then onwards, seeing that process was where I first kind of became interested in interiors. I wasn't aware that it was an actual job to pick out someone's paint colours. Even though there's more to interior design than just paint colours, but I didn't know it was a job at that stage. I just thought it was one of the fun things you get to do when you own a house. Since we're also a fashion company now, I also was very heavily into fashion when I was younger as well. It's so embarrassing. But I remember my mum bought me a sewing machine when we lived in the house before this one, and we had an attic space which was she put some floor down in it, and I used that as my studio. And I would make garments with my sewing machine. They were unwearable garments, but they were garments nevertheless. How did you start building your design portfolio? How did I start building my design portfolio? When I learned that interior design was a job, I was so fascinated by it. So much so that when we were in this house, I know my brother relocated to a room downstairs, and then I wanted that room because he was in it and it looked cooler, so we swapped, and I begged my mom if I could redo it and renovate it, and I think it spanned over the course of 2 years, me renovating this room, because for birthday presents, Christmas presents, that's all I wanted was stuff to furnish the room. So whether it be paint or curtains or wallpaper, I remember Dad actually bought me the wallpaper without noticing. It was like a silk grass cloth. I remember it vividly going up. I had this cardigan thing on. I think I was in Westbrook College at the time. That's kind of the first stage of my design portfolio. That was the first room that I had officially renovated. Now it was on the cheap, but we made our own headboard and it turned out quite nice, if I do say so myself. And then anything around the house that Mum was doing, I would put my foot in and beg her to let me design it and create it. I know we're a few years into this house and we decided to do up the kitchen, and that was my biggest project to date. That was a fun one. I learned a lot with it. So that's how I started my design portfolio, was just doing jobs around the house, literally. If you go back to my YouTube channel, you'll see all the little projects I've done and filming everything. I filmed everything. So that's how you start building a design portfolio. Just pick something and transform it and keep going. Also, I used to do, I still do Christmas decorating, but I used to do it for any family member that asked. I'd tell them I'd do Christmas decorating for them. I remember I done my granny's tree the first year, and my mindset was, okay, if I do a good job here, when all the family come over at Christmas and see it, they're like, wow, James done such a good job, I'm going to get him to do my house next year. I think you have to look at everything as an opportunity, and that's something that I do all the time, because there is, whether you're cutting on your prices to get that job or you're doing it for free, there's always a possibility of another project or another job or something better coming from it. In my case, it was a portfolio. I just wanted a very well-rounded portfolio, so that's kind of, there you go, that's how you start your portfolio. When planning a design, what is your main focus? And when I go into a space and I go to design a space, my main focus is how the space makes you feel. I think that's a very important factor to consider when you're designing a space, because at the end of it, you can have a beautiful space, but you know, you have to feel good in it. And I feel like that differs so much from person to person. That's why I think it's so important when, if you're a designer out there, when you're discussing a project with your client, you really tap into how they want to experience that space. And that's something I do with all my projects, so that when it's finished, not only is the client happy with the space, but they feel comfortable and they feel good in that space, like it reflects them. I feel like a home should encapsulate the occupants in that home, if that makes any sense. How would you describe your style? How would I describe my style? I don't know if I'd be able to describe my style, because I feel like I'm a bit of a chameleon in that sense. I like to, like when to be honest, I haven't designed anything for myself in a long time, so I don't really know what my style is. I design for people, so whatever vibe or style I kind of get off of that person, that's pretty much what I design based off. Like I base my design off the person, their own personal tastes, and what they like interior design wise and style wise and color wise. So I'll let you answer that one in the comment section. How would you describe my style or my company's style? I feel like it's a mix. I feel like I like a mix of, you know, more traditional elements. I like more contemporary things. I like a bit of everything, to be honest. I love mixing things together because I feel like it makes the space feel more accumulated rather than just all new stuff. I feel like it tells more of a story about the space. What can potential clients expect when working with you? What can potential, like craziness, absolute chaos. That's what potential clients can expect. No, I would say you can expect a lot of optimism, good energy, a friendly face, a friendly voice, someone to help you along with the design process, because it is a process. People always underestimate the amount of work that goes into actually transforming a space, and there is a ton of work that's involved in actually bringing a space from A to Z. There's a whole alphabet in between of things that go right, things that go wrong, and I like to be a kind of a holding hand. I like to be there to hold a hand. I like to be a holding hand. Is that how you say it? Yeah. I like to be able to hold my clients' hands and guide them through the process, because it is a process, and if I can take some of the heat from the project, I will, you know, that's just part of it. And also an extremely talented interior designer. That's what you can expect. How can someone safely introduce color into a space without it being the key focus of the room? How can someone introduce color to a space without it being the key? Well, then do it in small installments. Don't paint the whole room pink. If you want to introduce pink, maybe throw a cushion in, or a throw, or some flowers, or some accessories that have pink in it. Oh gosh, let me see. You could even do a really soft pink paint color, like a white with like a pink undertone or something like that. Or a rug. You can have a rug with a bit of color in it. There's numerous ways. I'd say start with the soft furnishings first, and then get a bit more crazy with paint and bigger pieces of furnishing. Lighting plays a crucial part in design. How do you balance task, ambient, and accent lighting? Lighting does play a crucial part in design, and lighting is one of my favorite elements to play around with, and it's only really recently, I'm going to be completely honest, it's only recently, I'd say in the past year and a half, I'd say I've really focused on lighting design and how lighting can be used to change the feeling in a space. I feel like a lot of people just automatically put your ceiling light in, a table lamp and a floor lamp, and that's kind of it done. Whereas I feel like there's so many other ways you can play with lighting. Like I feel like you should almost have like a few different moods in that one space, because lighting changes the mood. Like it's fair enough when it's bright outside, you don't need the lights on, fine. But in the evening time, when you need to wind down, you know, you don't want to have your big light on, and if you do, you want to dim it down, or you have your recessed LED lighting, or you have your media unit with like built-in lighting in it, or you have your spotlights or accent lighting. It's how do you balance them all? It's a tough question. I might do a separate video on that one, because you just do. You just balance them all. You know, a lot of these questions are very hard to answer because I don't really think too much about it. I just do it. So I really have to learn on how to actually project how to. I personally plan out task lighting first. So if let's use a kitchen as an example. Okay. In your kitchen, you have your task lighting. So when you're cooking, when you're doing all of that, you need your areas lit up. So your worktops need to be lit up. Well, specific areas of the worktops anyway. I like to add in kind of spotlights over the worktop, not like the ugly boring spotlights you see most homes, like drop down spotlights, downlights at them areas. Ambient and accent are kind of similar. Ambient kind of just more so sets the mood in the space, whereas accent lighting kind of highlights little areas of the space, like pictures or paneling or something, you know, to accent it. Okay guys, that's my little Q&A. I really hope you enjoyed. If you've any other questions yourself that you'd like me to answer, leave them down below and I will be sure to answer them for you. I love answering questions, and if I can help you in any possible way, I would love the opportunity to help you. So leave any questions down below and I will see you in the next one. Bye.